Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you're watching this. Welcome to Two and a Half Beards. New episode. We're back. Obviously, Rayaan, Abz. What are you saying? All good?
Yeah, all good. I mean, we keep saying that we're going to be consistent, and
Yeah, we always
we're not consistent enough. We're trying our best. I promise.
To be fair, before this, you would have had an episode with our good friend Kimani, but that episode is slightly delayed.
It'll be out. Don't worry, it'll be out soon.
Yeah, nevertheless, we're back with special guest.
Another guest.
Stephen. I don't know how you want to be introduced, Stephen. Not full government.
No need.
How are you?
Introduce yourself.
It's nice to meet you all. Yeah, I'm Stephen. What do I say? Fun fact.
He's from Madeira.
Favorite colour is blue.
He's from Madeira.
Yeah.
He's the first Portuguese person I've ever met, which is...
Really?
Yes, I've never met him. Actually, no, I'm lying. My barber's Portuguese. Anyways.
Does he give you a good fade?
Yeah.
Don't know.
So Stephen's joining us today. Obviously, as you know, it's just sort of me and Abz now. So we're deciding on whether we want to get a third member in or whether it's just going to be the two of us. But yeah, Stephen's with us today. To give you some context of how we know Stephen, he works with us basically. So
unfortunately,
there was no choice. I had to bring me in.
Unfortunately,
yeah, exactly.
I see him every day, so
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, today we've got we weren't too sure on kind of what to talk about today, but since Abz is always sort of banging on about conspiracies, that's what today's going to be about. Yeah, Abz is opinionated as hell, man, and he just loves his conspiracies as well. He sends me TikToks of conspiracies every other week. So
you're lucky I haven't got your TikTok.
No,
yeah.
You know what it is, yeah? Like me and Ray are the total opposite. Like he's so like straight and narrow, very PC. Like he doesn't really like to give his opinion on stuff. Like that's how he normally is.
Do you know what it is? With conspiracies, I don't usually... I do believe in some, or I'll give time to listen to some, but I won't go all out and like do mad research on it or pay much attention to it, because I just feel like if it can't be proved, I'm not really going to put my time into it.
That's what's exciting.
Abz is the opposite. He'll probably watch 3-hour documentaries on
100%.
a single conspiracy, which
100%. Like, like certain conspiracies, like they might not even make sense, and I'll just watch it just to give it entertainment. Like, it gives me like entertainment.
It looks a bit like a 2 against 1, because me and Abz were talking, and it seems like we have a lot of stuff that we watch in common.
Like, yeah,
you know what?
So
yeah,
many
a lot of garbage.
different YouTube channels. Like some of the YouTube channels that are so niche and low key. Yeah, Stephen's watches it.
Yeah, do you know what? I'll give them time. Like I'll entertain a conversation about conspiracies because they can be interesting depending on what they are. Maybe, but I won't. I'm not that guy to watch long ass documentaries on a conspiracy.
Fair.
But go on, Abz, give us.
No. I think you should give us a conspiracy that you think that could be real. Like, since you don't really give conspiracies much time,
okay.
I can give you 100 conspiracies that could be real, that are 100%.
Okay, cool. I'll bring one up, and to be fair, this is going complete kind of not having that much research about it. But since you're an expert in conspiracies, we'll see what you lot think of it. So one conspiracy that I've kind of had a conversation about before, actually with our barber, actually, and it was about. So it was kind of not to necessarily say that obviously aliens exist, but like kind of around that topic. So like we were talking about how like there's certain miracles that have occurred in the world. Now obviously I'm fairly like on the religious side, so I do believe that there's some miracles of this world that are kind of unexplainable because we as humans just can't fathom it. But things like, for example, the pyramids in Egypt, and how like they're not humanly possible to have constructed. Like, so he was saying that like humans, he doesn't believe humans necessarily built the pyramids themselves. Like obviously, you know how like the pyramids, the points of the pyramids are aligned with stars, and they're all level.
Yeah,
like that's not humanly possible to get it all on that point, and the
believe
fact that
it's
they
a
align
tenth
with
to a
certain
degree.
stars.
It's in line with a tenth to a degree.
Yeah,
A tenth of a degree. Sorry.
exactly.
It's crazy.
So
I
like,
agree.
So
Stephen was actually telling me about this one, so this
So
might
go
be
on,
his.
Stephen.
his
What's your-
like,
Yeah. So
what's your take on that?
this kind of fell in when I was reading about it. It kind of fell into a theory that we live in a simulation, which is a bit weird. When you
Go
think
on, start
about
from
it.
scratch. So we live in a simulation.
We live in a simulation. There's so many things about it. So one of the main things is obviously things like that, where there's this sort of higher being. I think it's called Orion.
yeah,
Yeah.
Called it what?
Orion. You know about Orion's
Orion.
belt?
You know why about
Not Rayaan, not Orion.
Thought
Basically,
special
Oh, Ryan.
Orion. Yeah.
Orion,
So basically,
yeah.
it's this constellation. You know how like stars can form like shapes and stuff. It's
Yeah.
a constellation that looks like a hunter, and they named him Orion the Hunter, basically. And his
kinda
belt
where they
is
got star
basically
signs from.
three. Yeah, the
Yeah,
star
yeah.
signs and stuff. So his belt is like three stars that are like together. So like
They're the most
around
prominent
his
ones,
waist. Yeah.
essentially.
They're called the Orion's belt. That's what those three stars are.
Or something
And
like that.
the
Yeah.
three pyramids of Giza, they're like in line with those three stars, basically.
Each point.
Like
in line
which
with the
is
three
scary. Like all of them are.
Orion's. Say that again. It's a constellation.
Orion's a constellation in like the
galaxy.
star. Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently, like this conspiracy theory is that Orion is the creator of like, basically saying that it's a godly
Yeah.
figure, and
Okay.
From what I understand as well, the pyramids point to the true north, which is crazy. I mean,
The true north.
The true north, like the true north.
what does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
the-
As in
the-
the North Pole.
No, the north point, like the compass. You got
Okay.
north.
North, south.
So you're
west.
saying the north, as
It's
in
like
what-
perfectly north,
Oh, okay. So like,
0 degrees.
oh, okay.
Perfectly.
I see.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's insane.
See, I would
But
love
wouldn't
to
that-
see the periods. But anyways,
Yeah.
Go on. Finish your thing. So
Um,
there's a higher being called Orion.
and he's apparently this coder, right? So,
Well, like a computer
yeah, like a
coder.
yeah. So like he created
Right.
us, the simulation. I thought that bit is a bit strange.
That's a
and-
reach, man.
yeah.
That's a big-
think
Because
it's a bit out of character what I believe in, because I don't necessarily think I believe in that simulation bit. But what I do believe in is like, I highly doubt humans created the pyramids all by themselves.
so that's the thing. Where do you think? What conspiracy do you believe in? Because do you reckon it was a higher being at the time that was helping the humans build the pyramids?
I think-
Obviously, bear in mind humans back in obviously these days when it was like the times of like some of the prophets that we believe in or whatever.
Fun fact.
They were like giants pretty much.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Did you know the pyramids are as old to the ancient Romans as the ancient Romans are old to us?
Okay, that's just off. So that just
Do you know,
is
do you know how
irrelevant.
nuts that is? That's how
Well,
long ago that was.
Yeah. I think they took a really long time. From what I understand as well, they took a really long time to build them. I think that there was a fact that Cleopatra was actually born closest to the invention of the iPhone than she was to the
Pyramids of Giza.
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that as well. That one as well.
Really?
You know
Yeah.
how nuts that is.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. When you put that in context, that's a bit.
Yeah, that's where it gets a
Anyway,
bit-
Yeah.
Back on the topic of what do you actually?
that's what I wanted to find out, because you're quite religious, aren't you? So I wanted to know what your thoughts are on that, because you know as well as I know that.
So I don't. The thing is, I wouldn't rule out the fact that there's nothing that states in like, for example, like in Islam, for example, that like goes against the fact that there are other beings in the galaxy. Like, there's nothing to say that there isn't.
Yeah.
Like necessarily. So I wouldn't necessarily be against the theory that some sort of other being help, but then I just don't believe it, because then why would they come and help build the pyramids and then like just go?
Just
Like,
cut.
do you know what I mean? Like when you actually use logic to a lot of these things, yeah, like
Yeah, but why
It
would
defies
that
logic,
makes sense.
but-
Why would they do that?
Yeah, but
no, but then there you
Why
go
would
then.
they come help you build the pyramids and just
So
cut?
I'm obviously I feel like I'm in a bit of a kind of an area where I don't have enough knowledge on the pyramids themselves, like to kind of say that.
Nah, that's not how it
Do
works.
you know what I mean? No.
You need
But
to be all in or not. You can't be.
I'm on the
halfway.
fence because
You
I.
can't.
he's allowed to be on the fence. Leave him alone.
No, I'm on the fence at the moment in terms of I don't, because he's obviously asked me what I think.
Yeah.
So I believe that there's certain miracles of this world that are unexplainable. The pyramids are one of them. They're literally one of like
Yeah, I can't tell you.
the
who
many
built
wonders
them.
of the world. Same as like, I don't know, the Grand Canyon? What's it called?
No one built the Grand Canyon.
No, I'm saying it's a
It's a
miracle. innit?
natural occurring thing. I
Yeah,
swear.
but I'm saying it's
That's
a
like saying
miracle.
someone
I
built a
get it.
mountain.
Yeah,
I'm using that as another example.
That's a
to say
terrible
that
example.
It's one of the
It's
wonders.
beautiful.
You should have said Stonehenge or something,
Yeah, yeah.
or like Easter Island heads. Like,
Yeah.
why would you pick Grand Canyon of all places?
I'm using that
It's
as
an example.
as a comparable to
But-
say.
but
needling it.
it's good. It's good though. Like, I get what you mean because it's not just the pyramids though. Like, I found out one mad thing today that
Go on.
there's pyramids in China, like as in bigger
Yeah.
pyramids than the one in Egypt in China. But you know what?
John, they
Apparently
do.
the Chinese government covered it up with like trees and plants and stuff, so you can't see it. So it just looks like mountains and hills, but it's actually made of stone, like built.
I can
pyramids.
understand. I actually there's a lot of sense in that.
Strange.
The reason why, so that this is what the guy was explaining while he was explaining the simulation theory. Although I think the simulation theory is a bit, it's whatever. I don't necessarily believe in it, but there was a few bits.
That's a weak one.
Yeah, but there was a few bits within it that made sense. So like the pyramids and stuff like that, and the one in China, because recently we've been seeing that China's been so like hungry to control people's minds and what they do, and banning TikTok, banning social media
Censoring
platforms.
a lot of things. Yeah.
It clearly shows that they're trying to control their people, and one way of doing that is by hiding landmarks and things that tell you about the history of a place, because then with that there's no knowledge of it. They're like, okay, it's just a hill, I'm just gonna walk over it, and
Yeah, no, people won't ask questions. Like,
So cool. So there's pyramids in China, but what does that?
yeah, I was
prove?
trying to say how like it's. Don't you think it's really strange that all of these different civilizations in different parts of the world, different like separated by like hundreds and thousands of years, they were all building the
oceans.
same thing, like. All of them were making pyramids that were lined up with the stars, like they were like all carving paintings and stuff like that. Like, don't you think it's really weird though? Like,
bear in mind,
It is
all done by
have you
human.
have you done any? Did you do any more reading on that?
Yes.
Are there any theories around that?
yeah, there's loads of theories. Like,
Obviously, people talk
again,
about aliens.
it goes back to the aliens theory. Like, they're all saying basically that the reason that the aliens came to Earth, they basically went to all different parts of the Earth and were teaching humans to build and like do agriculture and
Maybe
do all
helping
these
them
stuff,
too.
basically helping us evolve. And these humans saw these aliens as like godlike figures and they helped them build these monuments, like
They were
to
saying-
celebrate them
so-
and stuff.
so-
See,
Basically,
I don't.
and that's very feasible. Like, there's like this theory where when like science is so advanced and people can't explain it, they'll just say it's God, or like it's
Yeah.
magic. Or-
Here's what I've got to say about that. So we got to think about the logistics of it, right? So look at huge pyramid. Each block is like tons. Like I can't remember the precise number.
Yeah, they're
Literally
massive.
Yeah, they're
blocks.
huge.
Each block of limestone. So think about it this way: you've got one of those that you have to push up a ramp going upwards, by the way.
Yeah.
So gravity's against you. And then you need how many people to? Like,
Yeah.
It just
but
doesn't
you-
seem
yeah, but-
possible
yeah,
that
but
a human.
You also, then again, those humans back then, they were giants. They weren't us, bro. Humans have shrunk over time.
Yeah.
Back then,
Really?
bro.
Is
Humans,
that a conspiracy? Or is that a
bro.
that
That is a
facts, or is it-
fact, bro. That is
yeah,
a fact.
it is.
I thought humans have grown. Like,
No,
I know that people in the 1930s and stuff, they were much shorter than what we are now.
No, bro. I'm talking about back in like before like modern day civilization.
There was nothing dramatic though. They
No, as
were
in they
bigger.
would have been 7, 8, 9
Huh?
foot. Would they
Like
not?
giant.
I'd say 7.5.
Nah, man.
Seven and a half.
That's extreme.
7.5 feet is a norm.
bro, that's not. It's not like a giant.
But it's bigger.
It's
like
tall.
your tallest
They were
basketball
strong. They were
player.
physically stronger.
That's nuts.
They were physically stronger. They were physically, bro. But you have to remember, they don't eat a lot of the stuff that we eat. They were like.
You reckon they were vegans?
Definitely not.
What, they were just eating limestone?
Maybe vegans that's the way forward. Like, what if like they've got everything like patterned? Like,
Yeah.
Bro, you
If you
most
eat
definitely
vegan
would
food,
get
you-
smaller if you like. Well,
What if-
actually,
what if
no,
meat's suppressing
I
us?
don't think so. Bear in mind, we have an appendix, right? But that thing used to actually be in use because
meat is
humans-
definitely not suppressing humans.
No, but I also think.
what if
that,
it is though?
It's not.
Like, we don't know until we don't try it.
Maybe all the hormones they inject it in now maybe have an effect.
Maybe.
But anyway,
Oh, there's a theory about that
that's-
too. There's a
Oh,
conspiracy
okay.
theory about that too. Food one.
Well, is there anything we want to add on the pyramid?
The pyramid.
but the thing is, so ones like these we could go back and forth on all day.
Yeah.
One thing I do disagree with, or one thing well, with what Ab said was when he sort of said when the science is too advanced, people just then say, oh, it must be like a miracle of God or whatever.
Mm.
I disagree with that purely based on the fact that, like, for example, not to like take a religious turn in things because I don't want to turn this into a religious conversation, but things that are kind of like in some of the scriptures back then, like, you know, they talk, like, for example, in the Quran, like they talk about certain miracles and whatnot that have taken place. I don't know about the Bible and all that sort of stuff, but so I feel that there can be, science can explain things to a certain degree, and science does play an important part in like human civilization in general. But I do think that like the creation of this world is beyond like human thought. Like, do you know what I mean?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Like with that, there definitely would be like some miracles. Like even the creation of like mountains and like actual mountains and things like that. Like, have you even thought about that? Like, where did that come from?
Tectonic plates.
No, but see, that's where we diverge a bit, because like you see like natural occurring those kind
No, I
of
see what
stuff.
you're saying.
I can see it happen like in the natural world, but like stuff like evolution,
no.
stuff like that, I feel like it isn't just. I don't think it happens just naturally. I feel like there was some kind of like influence from external forces, and by that I mean a
Aliens.
god, alien, whatever you want to call it.
But you can't compare
Something
like
exists.
aliens to like God.
No, I mean,
Like,
No, but
see,
do you know what it
that's
is?
the problem is I do believe in a higher power, for example.
but you don't
I
necessarily
do
believe
believe in
one,
a higher power,
one God.
and it could be just one higher power. It could be just one higher power.
Mm.
But in my eyes, I just think it's just an unexplainable force. I don't think it's a figure, a god, anything like that. I just believe that it's a power that we can't explain.
I think so.
Because I don't think we're advanced enough to explain it. It could be an alien for all we know. Because
That's what
Yeah,
we're
but
trying
this
to
is
do with religion.
This is going off topic. 'cause
by that,
I'm
by,
not-
the, by this,
this
I'm
is-
not saying
this is
God is an
going-
alien
yeah.
or anything. I'm saying like
Well, alien
for us, the word alien literally means like something that we don't know, unknown. So
I
I
think-
guess
yeah,
you
No,
could say,
no, an alien is basically like an external, like being, basically. So like what?
No,
yeah.
I
As in what?
mean the
what,
term
yeah.
alien.
what we're describing as aliens.
something
Yeah.
that doesn't belong on the earth.
What we're describing as aliens in this sort of situation is an actual being. Doesn't it could be another being that was created by a god,
yeah,
but it's come your what we're saying is come from you. The theories I think that are describing these aliens, or what I would describe an alien as, is a being from another part of the universe, the galaxy, or do you know what I mean?
yeah.
I think sometimes people can't help but think that when you think about alien, you kind of notoriously think about this green thing.
E.T.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
that's
I think
not the
kinda-
case though. Like,
Which I think some people then
yeah.
are like, no,
like when I was
no,
in school,
it's
like
not.
what
It's not
the
okay,
way they
right?
like in English, the way they explained the term alien to us is like if I go to like Brazil, I'll be alien to them, like because
Yeah.
I'm not from there.
Yeah, no. So this is what I'm just clarifying the meaning
Yeah,
of
no,
an
yeah,
alien,
yeah.
because
That's why
I believe 100% that is obviously like one God, but that's not necessarily to say that, you know, like I said, like I don't think when it comes to like the pyramids and stuff like that and how they were built, like I said, it's hard to say because I haven't done enough research around like how how have people said they were built? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know there's conspiracies on it, but
No,
how? What's the
official way
yeah, what's the actual
the official way
explanation?
they've said it is this like pharaohs in Egypt had slaves, like millions of slaves, and these slaves basically like worked day and night to build these tombs for the pharaohs to like bury their dead in.
So they built the pyramids.
So they built the pyramids. So
pharaohs,
the slaves basically built them. That's the official kind of
Yeah.
way. But like Stephen was saying earlier, these tons and tons of like heavy like limestone bricks, like they're the size of houses, like, and they were basically pushing them up ramps. Like
Because there was slaves,
how's that possible?
It might have taken years. So
That's another thing.
Probably
They're basically saying it took years, like decades and
if we-
decades to build it.
let's say it could have been humans that made it.
Like one slab a year.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
One slab a month.
Yeah.
And 12,
Yeah.
by the end of like 10 years, you've got like the outline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah. So it could be.
it could be that.
We don't know. We weren't
We
there.
don't know. Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's the thing. I mean, it's actually
Yeah.
exceptional.
So
Anyways,
that's one theory.
that's what- that's-
yeah.
that's-
Let's move on
pyramids.
to something else.
Like one thing that I wanted to kind of talk about
Go on.
is like quite recent, like modern day
Mm.
conspiracy theories.
Go
Like,
on. I think this might be a bit more of a one that we can have a conversation.
yeah,
about.
Yeah.
like the biggest theories for the past like 2 years have been related to COVID-19
Mm.
and like what caused it, why it's here,
God,
all
yeah.
the
Talk about
theories
COVID.
behind it. Like
You don't.
one of the
we can. Oh,
Let's
let's
touch
hear
upon
it.
it.
the one
lightly.
that really like made me think though is the fact that apparently it was allegedly it was released out there and people got like infected and everything, and it was basically used as a population control method. Like everyone knows that people are like the earth is like overpopulated right now. There's like how many 8 billion, nearly 9 billion people on the earth. So they're saying that, especially starting it in China, which is literally the most densely populated country in the world. It started off in China. It could have been the Chinese government. It could have been like a government. They're basically saying that they started it to kill off people and then control the population, like to stop, like
Basically, they watched Avengers. Infinity War.
like
Or
Thanos.
Thanos
Yeah,
was
basically.
Or
Like
Avengers
Thanos.
or China.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And this theory then goes on to say, okay, if that's not the case, the vaccines are used for population control.
Can I just actually can we start dissecting it a bit more? So the reason why I personally believe in this one,
Oh, you actually believe in it?
I think there's
Because I was just putting it out
there's
there.
some truth there, and
Reckon?
let me explain why I think so.
Go on.
So if you look at China, people say it started there. Obviously, we're not like trying to criticize a country. We're not trying to generalize. We're not trying to say anything. But,
We are. I don't like China.
okay.
Whoa.
You said don't be PC.
You've just lost all your Chinese viewers.
What do you mean you don't like China? Be more specific. You don't like the Chinese
Okay.
government?
Uh,
Yeah, okay,
Chinese people themselves can be quite nice, but obviously the government's not great.
Maybe
And
I did that.
obviously, yeah. Okay, anyways, back to the point I'll say. So going back to the Chinese government, so the things they're trying to do, the ways they're trying to control their people, we can obviously touch base on what they're doing to their people of different faiths and stuff like that, but it also starts with that, but also when they introduce the how many children people could have per household. I'm not sure. Do you guys know anything about that?
Yeah, you can only
Yeah,
have
the one-child policy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know about that in geography.
that's the first example of population control. It's like
Yeah, but that was an actual policy introduced in the 80s or whenever.
Yeah.
90s.
But then, as you could see, it resulted in people having girls feeling deeply saddened and disappointed to the point where they're throwing away babies.
Yeah.
So people are still having babies again and again. So it didn't really resolve the issue.
Have you seen what happened to Monday? It's basically that, like, it's a movie about like birth control. Like, people can only have one child per person, and if you have more than that, they basically like put the child away and cry or sleep until they can manage the population. Yeah.
But no, China, yeah, that was an actual policy. Yeah.
So if you take that into account, and then COVID comes, it's not hard to believe that it was used as a way to control the population, and it just so happened that someone took a flight somewhere else and the thing just spiraled out of
So
control.
you think the Chinese government actually did it to themselves to do it, but it just got out of hand?
That or Bill Gates. let it loose.
Oh wait.
So hold on. So
What Bill Gates?
So hold on.
Wait. Why Bill Gates of all people?
I kind of want to answer this question.
No.
Okay, fine. So yeah, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but he actually owns a patent for one of the strains. I think it is something to do with COVID. He owns a virus patent.
Is
the
it?
virus patent?
Patent. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So when I read that, I was like, whoa.
So
That's crazy.
The usage of that virus or research of that virus, he'll get paid for it.
It could be something as harmless as because
Is this
Wait,
allegedly or is
a
this
virus
like,
patent, as in one of the names of the?
Yeah, but obviously with the name means that you have
you
of it,
you got it, yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, if you use that for research and stuff, it will get paid basically.
Yeah.
This guy's a genius, man.
What do you mean he's a genius?
So as in,
What do you mean he's a genius?
He's trying to kill us all. What a genius.
He's getting paid for every time he uses every
That
time
strain,
someone uses
apparently
the
that strain of COVID, like if when
so
they-
like Omicron.
I don't know which one, like
See, that's the thing. The strain can then just develop out of control. So,
So that means every time anyone used Omicron in their article, he would get paid for it.
yeah.
No,
I don't know about article. I
No,
think they have
no,
to physically use it in
So-
research and
so
stuff.
obviously maybe
Oh.
a vaccine.
Yeah. If they make a vaccine
if
for
Pfizer
it.
developed the vaccine, they'd have to pay him royalties or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the ins and outs. What I'm trying to say is that a strain of COVID developed, and he had the patent for it.
Yeah.
That seems a bit,
a bit
fishy to
dodgy.
me. It's a bit dodgy. It's a
Okay.
bit.
So
Don't know about
forget,
you,
Bill,
but
Bill,
yeah,
what you
that's a
doing?
bit dodgy,
Bill, what you
mate.
doing? What you doing, Bill? Like it just seemed a bit.
Bill.
Stop it.
Listen, Bill,
Yeah.
I'll still come work for your company. Shout me.
The pay pack is good enough.
Anyways, moving on from
Selling our soul.
yeah. So no, in terms of like the actual conspiracy that you were talking about initially, then
Yeah.
before we involved Bill, what was the so you were saying so COVID was basically
There's
a
so
form of
many conspiracies with
population
COVID.
control.
There's so many.
Yeah, so this is my thing with with conspiracies, and this isn't me. Like I get it. We're entertaining the conversation of conspiracies. Yeah.
He hates
But-
it, you know.
No.
He's
I
not
don't.
trying to
I
trash
don't.
it, although he is.
He
Just,
hates
you know what?
it.
Just to play devil's advocate in this situation, for maybe a viewer listening that is thinking you're bringing this, you're saying this with no substance. Like,
There-
where's your what's the evidence?
Wait, if Tom and Harry on YouTube and
No, but what if
they
it
can write
genuinely is?
articles
No, but
about
what-
this? I
what-
can't talk about
No,
it.
but no, I'm not saying you can't talk
Yeah.
about it. I'm not saying you can't talk
No,
about it.
I'm just a messenger. Don't
I'm just
shoot
saying-
me. Like I'm literally just letting you like know there's these.
So you're not
But-
saying it
but
with
here's
your
the
chest
problem.
in.
I'm not believing.
So-
I don't
so
believe in
here's-
them.
So you don't believe in that?
No.
So
Stephen
guys-
actually
so guys-
believes in the population one.
Okay.
I don't.
So
A quick
but-
sec. The thing about conspiracy theories is that there isn't enough substance in any of them.
Yeah,
because it's not proven true.
exactly.
Some are. Some have been proven true.
The
no,
problem,
but there's some, for example, and this isn't me bringing a new conspiracy up, but let's say there's some conspiracies such as, I don't know, maybe anything around kind of, like 9/11, for example,
Ooh,
in terms of like, there's actually,
it's a spicy topic.
there's actually, and I'm not going to go into that in detail because obviously there's might be others that you want to bring up, but with that one, for example, there's actual facts that are there but are just brushed under the carpet to kind of show that, hold on, it doesn't add up. Like there are certain things that were like in place in the buildings, for example. So when the planes just went to the top of them, how did the whole building collapse? Like there's actually, and why was a building evacuated? Do you know what I mean? Like before, there's question marks around that where you can kind of there's substance to that
There's a bit of
conspiracy.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Same with even the aliens one, even the alien theory. There's actually, sightings that people can bring up, and there's things that people can use to back up their conspiracy. Same with.
Thing is, they all come from America, so I'm not sure how plausible
Whoa,
sightings.
what are you saying about Americans?
We love you guys.
No, but as in like
But you
just
know what I mean.
in general, innit? Like so that's the only reason why I asked. Like, is there any substance?
The thing
to that?
is, with conspiracy theories, there's like tiers to them. Like 9/11 and stuff, because it's such like out there, like common conspiracies. Like there's a lot of stuff that we know about it. Like I'm sure if we do some research, like people will tell us like facts about every conspiracy. Because the problem with conspiracies are, it's not falsifiable, which basically means that you can't say that, yeah, that's not true, or like you can't falsify what they.
No, but you can say it is just anyone can say anything.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
Anyone can come up with any theory, but you can say, cool, there's literally no evidence to support what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is just words. Like it
The
doesn't.
thing is, the problem is we can't tell them that what you're saying is rubbish, because
I'm not
they'll
saying-
give you like solid answers for each thing that you throw at them.
Just
a prime
so
example.
I'm just
a prime
asking you,
example.
do you know any? Do you know of any conspiracies? Like, sorry, do you know of any? Not necessarily evidence, but obviously, for this COVID theory that you have, is there anything that you can kind of come with to say, cool, this is why you believe is true?
Well,
No.
if there, not really. If there was evidence, it would be damning. Obviously, they're essentially committing the equivalent of war crimes.
Yeah,
it's you know,
crimes against humanity.
which obviously
I mean,
they don't
it's
wanna
not
get-
the first. Do you know what I mean? There's many of
so that's what I was about to
Yeah.
touch upon.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. So-
obviously, the concentration camps, the one child policy,
That's why I said what I said about.
Yeah.
To be fair, just purely because
and I feel the same. So, but
Yeah.
obviously,
I agree.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, but that's the thing. If you then start to see there's a bit of a track record there, so you're kind of like, these guys are doing some bad stuff.
So
Right.
so the theory is that it was the virus was initially started, or like
Because
it started because of it started from China wanting to control their own population,
which is like
but then
one thing that they've tried to do out of multiple.
Yeah, they have tried
Of
it
trying
before,
to
so why
control-
wouldn't they do
okay,
something
cool,
extreme
fine,
like that?
okay, cool,
population.
cool.
Does that make
So
sense?
then, and then it was just an accident that it had then spread to the
Yeah.
entire.
Yeah.
If you think about, let's say a murderer, for example, if he's got a pattern of the way he kills people, if then a murder happens that kind of looks in the same sort of style, you're then going to think, oh, but that guy did it this way. So it's the same thing, you know.
And-
if China has a pattern
and
of
what's-
doing things like that.
What's crazy?
Fair enough.
With
Can
the
understand
with the
that.
China thing, what's crazy is they were the first ones to control it, like as in like stop it and like actually contain it and then stop it.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
after
after
that was out of the bag, yeah.
after
like-
the damage had been done.
yeah,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
which again says asks a lot of questions. Like it took the other countries and everyone else like a year and a half.
To be
like,
fair, big up the
to
Oceanic
stop it.
countries. They stopped it quite quickly too.
Yeah.
Who?
Australia, New Zealand. They did it quite.
Yeah, but they did it by completely locking off like
Yeah,
the
they were
country.
quite
But
smart.
like
See, we
in
could-
China, no one knew like how they did it. It just stopped suddenly. Like Wuhan, where it started,
Yeah.
like it after like 6 months or something, everyone was back to normal. Like life was back to normal there.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
As in, so
again,
you're trying to say that they were prepared to stop it.
yeah,
very
they knew
quickly,
how to
whereas,
stop it.
For example, the UK
Yeah.
or like the US,
didn't expect
other
it.
Europe, they didn't expect it. So it took us what?
2 years.
Nearly.
Yeah,
We were kind of normal, not normal.
Yeah.
You know? Here's the thing. See, that's another red flag. The fact that you got a fail safe. You know, like what if something goes wrong? The fact that you're able to stop it that quickly leads me to
they
also
knew.
believe
They
that
knew.
there's
They knew how to stop.
they had, you know, like a antidote to the problem in case it got out of control because they were developing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I hear that. Okay,
So-
the thing. So to be fair, for that one, you've no, as in like, I can hear it.
The problem is like I don't believe in all of these conspiracy theories. Yeah, I don't believe them. I just like giving them time. Like that's the thing. So if you ask
So
me
give
to,
us
like,
one that you actually believe in. Then this is what I want to hear. One that you're passionate about.
Yeah,
there is
You
'cause
spent
that's the
all
thing,
these.
the COVID one, like,
like-
there's a reason
There's
why I
got-
believe it.
There's got to be a conspiracy out there that you think, no, 100%, this is it. This is, bro. You're
Lizard
literally an
people.
advocate for
I bet you he's a lizard people kind of guy.
no.
lizard.
Obama's
what's
a
You
that?
know about that
lizard.
one? Do you know about the lizard people one?
Oh,
Look, his face is
No.
lighting up.
No,
he
I don't
definitely
believe
believes
it,
that
but
people
it's
are
nuts.
lizards.
Again, it's another one that I'm happy to give airtime to because it's actually funny.
What is it?
Okay, we're not here to
No,
discuss funny ones. I want like dark and
Okay, briefly touch on it.
Lizard people,
We'll give it fun.
basically, the theory is that all the elite people in the world, like all the government.
Did you just say?
politicians,
Is that
all
what you
of
said? Obama's a lizard.
Yeah, basically, like,
Yeah,
or
that's the
everyone.
most famous
Apparently, the
one.
whole like whole royal family are lizards. They're basically, they're basically,
he's like, yeah. It's fucking shit.
they're basically shape shifting lizards from another planet. Like they're
So
reptiles.
the first hole in that, because Justin Bieber's been accused to be a lizard.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian and
All the celebrities.
So here's my problem with that theory is that were they born lizards? Because because they weren't always famous.
So what?
When Justin Bieber
when
was
they go home, they just turn back into.
deep what I'm thinking, Justin Bieber was like a 12-year-old kid basking in the street singing. Was he a lizard then? When no one knew him? It doesn't make sense.
No, exactly.
like-
So that's why it's a dumb theory. But
It's so stupid.
I find it so entertaining.
When Obama
But-
was like in law school smoking weed,
but
was he like
there
a
is a-
lizard? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Going back to Rayan's point though, there is a theory I do believe in. There is a theory that I actually think is true,
Yeah.
Go on.
and that's like AIDS is a disease that
Oh, bloody
was
hell.
actually like. Why you?
No, do you know what it was?
That took a dark turn.
The thing is, we had such a normal conversation. AIDS.
We shouldn't be laughing.
It's the
bro.
way. We're not laughing at AIDS. We're laughing at your delivery.
No.
AIDS.
'Cause I'm trying
Okay.
to be serious now.
Okay.
I'm trying to be serious. So
That-
apparently, I'm not saying apparently because I think it is true. AIDS was created, not like naturally occurring. Like apparently the CIA or like a government organization created AIDS, to infect like ethnic minorities. Like if you look at AIDS, like back in the day, like yeah, like especially in Africa, like
Yeah, but-
they introduced AIDS into
Yeah.
Africa to kill off like
Yeah.
ethnic minorities. And do you know why I believe it is true? Because have you ever heard of the Tuskegee experiment?
No.
So what happened was Tuskegee place in America, they gave people free vaccinations for a disease, but they in doing so they were actually infecting them with syphilis, and like they were purposely infecting them with syphilis. And this is a documented like real
Yeah.
thing. Like it actually happened. They killed off so many black people in America. By
During what time frame?
this was like I want to say like early 20th century, like early
Like
to mid
1900s?
20th. Yeah. Like this is an actual documented thing. Like you
That's
can actually
great.
go
Yeah, I
go
don't
and
know about
like,
So what?
search
They
it.
just created. But then why can it? Okay. So
they put basically I believe that they put this out there. They put this into like the population, and then once a virus is out there out there in the population, it can just spread.
All you really have to do is if something like obviously syphilis is through sexual contact, right?
Yeah.
So all you have to really do is give it to a couple of people. Obviously, human nature, they're sexually active, and then it just spreads.
It just spreads.
Yeah.
Same with AIDS. Like AIDS, like I feel like they injected it into like because Africa went through like a horrible period, like the countries in Africa, where the people were having AIDS, like getting AIDS and passing it on, and it was like a proper epidemic there. And I honestly feel like it was kind of created, put it into there, and then just spread. And then obviously same happened like in other countries.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like it's a man-made disease that just spread out of hand. And
So you
it's
think
crazy
AIDS
that
is-
there
you
isn't
think
like
AIDS is man-made?
there isn't like a proper cure as well. I don't think you can only
So
suppress
AIDS isn't
It's
man-made.
incurable, yeah.
AIDS definitely isn't man-made. So it started in apes, like we saw, didn't we? It started off in apes, but obviously those then developed to be.
No, I meant it transmitting to humans was human.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was basically
No. So it
people who
transmits to
did-
humans probably naturally, but then
See,
what
I
happened
don't
was-
believe it was.
No, but it would have to because so biologically it would just be
Because you can't inject someone with AIDS, can you?
You can.
you can. Yeah.
It's a
I
virus.
think you can. Yeah.
It's a virus.
Can you?
Yeah.
It's chemical. It's like biological in it. So
Yeah.
whatever material that is, you can just extract.
Yeah, you can inject someone with anything. Like you can take any disease, like a virus.
Bear in
and put it
mind,
into them.
some vaccines were just dead cells
Yeah.
of the initial disease.
Yeah, exactly.
to
Most
build up
all
antibodies.
vaccines are. They're
Yeah,
like
yeah. So essentially, it's just to build up your immune system to protect you from.
yeah,
But
it's
anyways,
not harmful because that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, that's that with
and that.
with the AIDS. The guy went AIDS. That's it.
Anyways.
That's it with AIDS.
Yeah, stop saying the word.
What?
Anyways,
What? No, see, now I've got to go back to you because you've been attacking me about theories that I believe in.
I wouldn't
yeah?
say attack.
Okay.
okay, attack
Now-
it. It's a bit of an
Oh,
You were. Anyways,
God, such strong words.
give me a theory that you believe in that you can actually back up.
I don't. What do you mean? You're the conspiracy theory advocate. I'm the one who's more like on the fence.
I've got
Okay,
another
so
one.
you think-
I've got another one. Guys,
Okay, you know what?
Let's clear the air.
touching on the whole AIDS being, AIDS being man-made or whatever. Kind of following on from that. One question I have
Okay, go on.
is then: do you believe? And this is one that I actually. I think I believe in. Again, I'm kind of
What
on
he
the fence.
thinks.
Actually, to be fair, I'm 99% sure this is probably true. That like, there's obviously so cancer, for example, another like, illness which is what so common, especially nowadays. Do you believe that? Like a lot of people have said that it's literally kind of like it's a money making kind of.
As in,
It's,
like,
it's an illness that for example,
Oh,
governments can make a lot of money from.
You're saying
they're suppressing the cure.
Do you,
is that what
yeah.
you're trying to
You're
say?
saying
Do you
they're trying
feel?
to have
Do you
the
feel
cure.
like? Do you feel like there is a cure for it
But they're
that
suppressing it.
they're hiding it, especially following on from like even COVID, the fact that they were able to come up with a vaccine so quickly. See, I
Do you
don't know. The reason why I wouldn't say I'm 100% believing it is purely based on the fact that I haven't really looked into it.
See, the
But
thing with cancer,
It's a slow
compared to
killer.
like I don't
There's so many different.
I'm not
types.
saying I know much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
the thing is, I'm not saying I know a lot about it. Like I know the bare minimum about it.
Yeah.
But the difference with cancer compared to like other diseases is that it's not a virus or it's not a bacteria. It's not something like that causes it. What cancer is essentially is your own body.
Yeah.
Like it's cancerous cells in your body. It's mutations within your body that is causing it.
Bear in mind,
And-
it's very important to note
But
that
do you feel like they could? There is some. Sorry, that
No,
is-
no, no.
there's something out there that because like I said, like these got like these governments, especially where in countries where like health is sort of privatized, for example, like in the United States and stuff like that. Do you feel like they have suppressed it purely because they make a shit ton of money from ill people, which is horrible to say, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past a lot of these governments, to be fair.
I mean, it's definitely something that can be questioned. Yeah, definitely, because
But
they are
you- so
making
you
money from
don't-
it.
yeah.
They are making money from it. But just the sheer fact that because there's so many different types of cancers, then it's a, like I said, it is a mutation of your body that causes
And the
these
cells
cancers.
just grow and grow
Yeah,
and
and
grow.
the cells just grow and grow. And
there is causes.
yeah. There's certain stuff that do cause
as,
it.
you
It's
know,
not something
yeah.
that just happens naturally.
Radiation.
Obviously, radiation and stuff like that does cause it. Obviously, but
Again, but then that's why.
I don't feel like it is something that you can suppress the cure for, because it's something that affects like nearly a big percentage of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
that's
it's
true.
one of the most
Anyone can literally get it. It's not-
Yeah.
it could even be hereditary.
Yeah.
Some of them, because if there's a history in your family that of you having a certain type of cancer, and it's just hardwired in your body that your cells are going to develop a certain way. But,
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Fine.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on from that one.
That's that
then.
with that
What
one.
was the one that you were gonna say?
Yeah. So this is a really cool one. I'm not sure if you guys heard of the Mandela Effect.
Oh, I love this one.
So it's like
You're gonna have to explain it to me.
Okay, so essentially, the Mandela Effect is your brain having a perception of a certain thing, and that perception turns out to not be correct. So essentially,
So put it in
free.
context. For example,
you've got a laptop in front of you. Feel free to.
in context, you know Nelson Mandela, the South African politician.
It's named after him.
It's named after him.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
it's named after him is because, like 6 years ago, people thought that Nelson Mandela died in prison like back in the 90s, when in reality he only died like late 2000s, like early 2010s,
like before that.
yeah, something like that. So he didn't die back then, but people were convinced that he died back in like the 80s and 90s. And what that meant was people like did this thing where they were looking at stuff that they remember from their past, that when they look at it now, it's completely different.
Even things from your childhood, like like the Monopoly guy, right? Like there was this video that I saw, and like loads of little things, and it was just crazy to me because I always thought it to be one way, and clearly most people seem to think of it that way too.
It's not just one person. So for example, like the Monopoly one, like, you know, the Monopoly guy, like the fucking
the guy
Yeah, the
guy
guy,
with the monocle.
Yeah.
So I promise you, since I was a kid, I always thought the guy had a monocle. Like he had, like, you know, the one glass thing.
Does he not?
He doesn't. He never had it. Like it blew my mind when I first saw it. Like, I was like, what? Like,
So hold on. So the theory is that
so
people have a perception. People have a perception of how things were, but that's not exactly. But then it turns out that things.
But then
aren't.
it's ever so small, the differences.
So what's the theory?
So my theory is that.
So no, but what's the theory behind it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So the theory behind it is kind of an alternate universe, multiverse kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's saying that we split away from one universe,
minuscule changes.
Yeah, and we cannot. These are like just small changes that happen.
So like, for example.
Oh, so like, is that why things like deja vu moments?
Yeah, basically like that. So
I was going to tie
for example,
deja vu. Yeah.
There's one here. So you know the TV show, Sex in the City. So apparently it was never called Sex in the City. It was Sex and the City.
Okay, you've lost me. No, do you know what it is? I'm not a watcher. Is there another example?
I'll keep trying to find.
I always thought it was Sex and the City. Maybe I can
like,
have a different
Febreze. Like for example, Febreze.
Yeah.
It never had two E's in the you know, Febreze, the thing. So it's spelled Febreze, not with two E's.
Oh, okay.
But come on, there's got to be better ones than that.
Yeah, there was some childhood ones that I know about, like Scooby-Doo, and there was other stuff. I mean, there's loads. And essentially the theory, what it is it ties into, like, so for example, let's say in this universe, I cross the road absolutely fine, and then in another universe I cross the same road but I get hit by a car. Does that make sense? So there's just these little differences in things that happen. Obviously the consequences could be completely different, but that's kind of the point I'm trying to make, that, you know, our brains might be connected in like this one big sort of level of consciousness where we can feel the other timelines. Well, Abz is just really concentrated.
I'm just looking at these examples. These examples are terrible. Like, I've seen some really good examples, but I can't remember.
I'm just trying to think of like things from my childhood that maybe I think happened but didn't really happen that way. Do you know what I mean? But
don't you think deja vu is mad though? Like,
deja vu is crazy.
It makes no sense.
So I always thought it was I always thought it was a thing where like you kind of have maybe dreamt that moment before. Do you know what I mean? And then,
but then that ties back into this whole theory, doesn't it?
To be fair, the deja vu one I hear, you know, because sometimes you might be in a moment and you're like, hold on, like I've experienced this moment before, whatever, or like I saw this happening before. But then, isn't that kind of different to
the Mandela Effect?
Isn't that kind of different to like what you were saying in terms of like there was a minuscule change in?
Yeah, but the thing is, the whole point of the Mandela Effect is it's a lot of people have that same experience. Like, for example, like the monocle with the Monopoly man, it wasn't just me that thought that. Like, a lot of people thought that he had the monocle in his eye, but he never had it. Like, if you look at old pictures of like the Monopoly set, it was never there. But I'm convinced that it was there when I first played Monopoly when I was a kid, which is really weird. Like, you can't explain it, and people say that it's because we split off into like another dimension.
So all at once, at some point in time, we split off.
We split off, basically.
I've got a good one.
Go on.
How do you spell Looney Tunes?
LOONEY
And then
TUNES.
okay, so there was one where it was like it was Looney Tunes, not
Let me see.
tunes, like T.
I remember it as
NS.
tunes.
TOO. I might be wrong.
I remember it as
You
tunes.
spelt it right, so that's the right
Oh,
way.
is that it?
But
I remember it as tunes.
I remembered it as
TOON.
OONS.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I've always been in this universe and you don't.
We joined your universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly remember it as TOONS. Yeah.
So yeah, kind of basically coming back to where we were at the beginning. Really, yeah. I'm coming round to the fact that there are certain conspiracies that.
We've converted you.
No, you
Is that what
haven't.
you're
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I do feel like there's a lot of things in this world that have happened that we're, you know, kind of censored from. That we're kind
yeah,
of like,
yeah,
like
definitely.
protected from, and that we don't.
Is that
I
a good
say
thing or a bad
protected,
thing
but-
though? Would you rather?
Well, do you know
live,
what? I
would you rather
do
live in
think,
a world with like without knowing anything and just like go about your life, or would you be curious and ask all the questions and like want to know more?
No,
bro. What if? But what if things are no? What look? I do think there's a lot of things where like governments, they hide a lot from us. Like if you think in countries like, you know, North Korea and China, like imagine what their civilians are censored from a shit ton of things that happen in like maybe our world. But like I do think that we also are, you know, there's a lot of things that are hidden from us. But do you know what it is? My position on it is just that there's no point thinking if it's good or bad because it's just the way that it is. There's nothing that you can do. There's nothing that I can do.
True.
There's nothing that Stephen can do that is going to change that.
No, you don't know that. No, do you know what? Look, I think it's just really interesting to know. The sooner you think about conspiracy theories, because there's some that have been proven true, you know. So and they all started like this, like
Yeah.
you know,
Guys.
one day there's a lizard walking down the street, and
I'm convinced. Imagine the lizard one's the only one that's true as well. That would be nuts.
okay, stretch. I'm joking.
But yeah. But how
But yeah,
how was
yeah.
your first appearance on our show?
I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're not done with the
what do you
conspiracy.
I feel like
theory.
I feel like we need another part of like conspiracy because there's so many more.
Yeah,
Like,
100.
there's so many more.
Look.
Like there's a reason I wanted to do this. Like when we first started this. Like
This is probably the whole
podcast.
reason he started this, because he wanted to do
yeah, because I wanted to talk about conspiracies.
And Ray's like, conspiracy theories. I
Yeah.
don't want that.
No, you know
Not
what?
anybody got time
I'd
for
give
that.
it. I'd give it airtime. Because yeah, no, they are interesting to talk about. I think maybe next time I'll do a bit more research around a couple, and I'll come with maybe some ones that I potentially
Yeah.
believe in.
Yeah, potentially.
But
But yeah,
no,
so
we'll
it's
wrap it
been
up.
it's been a good conversation.
Yeah.
So it's been Abz.
Rayaan and Stephen, obviously pleasure. Thanks for coming.
Thank
on.
Thank you for coming, Stephen.
Thank you for having me.
But yeah, if you guys have any like conspiracy theories that you want us to talk about, or like any that you guys believe in,
Yeah,
obviously
drop it.
let us
Yeah,
know.
do comment whatever you think about what
Yeah.
we've spoken about too.
Yeah.
Because we'd love to hear other opinions. And
Yeah, we feel like we don't get enough interaction, to be honest.
Yeah,
So,
we
you know,
guys,
we-
run
You guys
up-
need to
run
like
up the
give us
comments.
feedback. Give us
feedback,
bad, like-
abuse,
yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Just
Abuse.
give
Listen.
something.
Abz is there for the taking.
Listen,
He's there for the take.
abuse.
Not me,
Like
I'm sensitive.
I just want some like interaction. I just want to know that you guys are like listening to us, even though
Yeah.
we're chatting
Yeah.
absolute
Yeah.
crap.
You think Abz is a lizard? Just
I
comment.
could be.
He could be.
Can see the
I think
resemblance.
it's the way he does
You
his hair.
Anyway,
Anyways,
Love.
yeah, thank you for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Like and subscribe, guys. So peace.
see you later.
See you later.